In OOP, or the object-oriented programming, there are four principles. So first is inheritance, second is encapsulation, third is polymorphism, and the fourth is abstraction. So inheritance, so it is a mechanism in which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of a parent object. So from the word itself inherit, so it comes into a position. So in inheritance, there are three types. First is single inheritance, second is multi-level inheritance, and the third is hierarchical inheritance. So today, I'm gonna show you the example of single inheritance. So first is a single inheritance is when a class inherits another class. So definitely a parent inherit a children inheritance. So just a class B inherits a class A. So let's create in a Java creator or just J creator. So first is we need to create a file, empty Java file. Select a directory. So now let's create a parent class. So let's name it animal class. So let's input the code public class animal. Then now let's create a behavior. So shall we say an animal could sleep? Okay. System that out that print line. The animal is sleeping. And then close it. Okay, let's compile. There you go. Now let's create a children class. So shall we say a cat? So public class cat and extend it from the animal so that we could proceed to inheriting. So let's create a behavior of a cat. So shall we say a cat could eat. So the animal is eating. So let's compile the file, run it. There you go. Now let's create the main class, which is it has to in this class it should be run. So let's create this public class test. So I should input the public static void main because this class is where we're gonna run and display what we encoded. So now let's create an object. So a cat C was a new cat. So C. So let's select the behavior of animal if it's gonna show. So an animal can eat and the cat could an animal could sleep and a cat could eat. So sleep. So see that eat. Now let's gonna try it. If we're gonna display, let's run it. Compile first. Then let's run if it gonna display. So there you go. This is the simplest way to inherit a parent class to a children class. Inheritance. So a multi-level inheritance is when there is a chain of inheritance. So this is the example. So now you can see the illustration of a multi-level inheritance. So a class C inherits class B and a class B inherits class A. So we can observe the chain of inheritance. So now let's create it in a Java creator. So we should just continue what we encoded in the single inheritance. So we just have now to create another class which is a dog. So public class dog, and it should be extended to the class cat. So now we can see that a dog inherits a class cat and a class cat inherits class animal. So let's create a behavior of a dog. So should we say dog can bark? Type in the display code. So the dog is barking. Now let's compile. There you go. Now let's edit the test class where it should display all. So let's create an object. So a dog D is equal to a new dog. So D dot bark and D sleep and D could eat. So we should it should display what are the behavior of an animal, a cat, and a dog. So let's run it. First is to compile, process completed, and debug. There you go. You can see that we've displayed the behavior of an animal class and a cat class and also the dog class. Third type of inheritance, so the hierarchical inheritance. So an hierarchical inheritance is when two or more classes inherits a single class. So let's see the example. So as we can observe that a class, a children class inherits a parent class. So a class B inherits class A and class C inherits class A. So now let's proceed to the coding. So let's just continue what we code in the multi-level and the single inheritance so that it should not be complicated. So here let's just edit the class dog and change it. So a public class dog extend to animal because a dog extends to class animal and a class cat extends to class animal. So let's compile it. Then let's proceed to the test class. So let's create a dog object. So dog D is equal to a new dog. So D, let's display the dog behavior. So dog could bark, and let's display the animal behavior. So D, sleep. Let's compile it. If gonna display debug, there you go. So notice that if we display the cat behavior, which is the which is it, so D dot it, so let's expect that it should be error because the dog class inherits animal. It doesn't inherit the class cat. So let's see. So there you go. As expected, there is an error. So now I'm gonna show you. We should create an object of a cat. So cat C is equal to a new cat, and let's display the behavior of cat. So C that it, and this display the behavior of animal. So C sleep. So now uh, we should see if the dog inherits the animal class and a cat inherits the animal class also. So let's debug it. There you go, and let's display. So there you go. We can see that we inherit children classes to a parent class.